The city of Tehran, once a thriving metropolis with millions of people going about their daily lives, now faces a crisis of unimaginable scale. Overnight, the water system that sustained the capital and its surrounding regions has collapsed, leaving residents in panic and disbelief. The sound of running taps, once a constant background in homes and businesses, has vanished. Streets that were filled with live children playing, markets bustling, cars honking, are now eerily silent as people search desperately for water. The crisis is sudden, but the factors leading to it are decades in the making, including chronic mismanagement of resources, population growth, and the increasing effects of climate change. For the residents of Tehran, the reality of life without water is harsh and immediate. Families wake to find empty taps, forcing them to improvise and ration water. Many carry heavy containers for miles to access alternative supplies, while others wait in long lines at temporary distribution points set up by local authorities or community volunteers. Social media platforms are flooded with images and videos of dry canals, empty reservoirs, and frustrated citizens, providing a raw and unfiltered look at the human toll. The crisis is not only about scarcity. It threatens public health, sanitation, and daily routines that most people take for granted. Hospitals face severe challenges. Without water, basic hygiene becomes a struggle, surgical procedures are delayed, and patient care is compromised. Schools close, workplaces are disrupted, and even transportation systems find it difficult to operate under strict sanitation limitations. Small businesses, restaurants, and bakeries places that rely heavily on water either scale back operations or shut entirely, causing economic strain on families already struggling to cope. The cascading effects are profound, and the uncertainty has created an atmosphere of tension and anxiety across the city. The Iranian government has declared a state of emergency in affected areas, deploying water trucks and emergency supplies to key districts. Yet the scale of the problem makes rapid distribution nearly impossible. Logistical hurdles, combined with a growing sense of public panic, slow relief efforts. The crisis has sparked public debate and criticism of government policies, as citizens demand accountability and faster action. Experts warn that without long-term reform, Tehran and other cities in Iran could face similar or even more severe crises in the future. The environmental backdrop of this catastrophe is stark. Iran is one of the most water-stressed countries in the world, with rainfall steadily declining over the last few decades. Prolonged droughts have drained reservoirs, while the overextraction of groundwater has outpaced natural replenishment. Agricultural demands, industrial expansion, and rapid urbanization have placed further pressure on limited resources. Tehran, with a population exceeding 9 million, is especially vulnerable. Climate change exacerbates the situation, bringing unpredictable weather patterns, hotter summers, and diminishing snowpacks in the surrounding mountains, key sources of the city's water supply. Local communities are responding in ways both desperate and inspiring. In many neighborhoods, citizens have organized informal water distribution networks, sharing resources and ensuring that the most vulnerable have access to basic supplies. Volunteers deliver bottled water and coordinate distribution efforts, while families help neighbors transport heavy containers. This grassroots solidarity has become a lifeline for many, highlighting the resilience of communities in the face of environmental and infrastructural collapse. Yet, these efforts are not enough to meet the enormous demand, and the psychological strain is palpable. International organizations have started responding to the crisis. Humanitarian aid, including water purification systems, bottled water, and sanitation supplies, is being directed toward Tehran. The United Nations has urged the Iranian government to prioritize emergency response and long-term water management reforms. Meanwhile, global media coverage has brought international attention to the situation, emphasizing the human stories, the environmental factors, and the policy failures that contributed to the disaster. This crisis serves as a stark reminder that water security is a global challenge, one that transcends borders and affects millions. The political dimension of the crisis cannot be ignored. Citizens express frustration over what they perceive as years of negligence, corruption, and inadequate planning. Protests have erupted in some districts, with people demanding immediate action, transparency, and accountability. Politicians and government officials face mounting pressure to demonstrate decisive leadership, not only in managing the current emergency, but also in implementing reforms that prevent future catastrophes. The crisis has ignited a broader debate on governance, environmental policy, and the responsibilities of leaders in ensuring basic public services. Engineers, scientists, and urban planners are now tasked with assessing the damage and developing solutions. Repairing Tehran's water infrastructure is no small feat. It involves replacing outdated pipes, constructing new reservoirs, implementing advanced water management systems, and integrating modern technology with existing frameworks. Experts advocate for comprehensive strategies, combining infrastructure upgrades with public education, sustainable water use policies, and innovative solutions like wastewater recycling and efficient irrigation techniques. These steps are critical to both resolving the immediate crisis and establishing a long-term, resilient water system. The social consequences are far-reaching. Vulnerable populations, including children, the elderly, and those with medical conditions, face heightened risks due to limited access to clean water. Schools and hospitals struggle to maintain operations, while daily life is severely disrupted for millions. Communities have stepped in to fill the gaps, with neighbors coordinating to deliver water, establish temporary distribution centers, and support those unable to access resources independently. Despite the hardship, these acts of cooperation underscore the human capacity for resilience and solidarity in times of crisis. Historically, Iran has demonstrated advanced water management practices, such as the ancient Qanat systems that channeled water over long distances. However, modern urban expansion and population growth have outpaced these traditional methods. The current crisis highlights the tension between historical ingenuity and contemporary challenges, suggesting that a hybrid approach integrating traditional knowledge with modern technology may be the most sustainable path forward. Experts believe that learning from the past while innovating for the future is crucial to ensuring Tehran's water security. The global perspective on Tehran's water crisis underscores the broader implications. Similar urban centers around the world face increasing water stress due to climate change, population growth, and mismanagement. Cities in the Middle East, North Africa, and South Asia, in particular, are vulnerable. Tehran's experience offers lessons in urban planning, resource management, and the importance of early intervention. Scholars and policymakers emphasize that proactive measures, investment in infrastructure, regulatory reforms, and public engagement are essential to prevent water catastrophes elsewhere. As the immediate emergency unfolds, priority measures include restoring water to critical infrastructure, delivering aid to affected populations, and preventing public health crises. In parallel, experts advocate for long-term strategies to secure water resources, modernizing urban water networks, adopting efficient irrigation for agriculture, promoting water conservation in households, and addressing the environmental factors driving scarcity. The resilience of Tehran's residents, combined with effective governance and international support, will determine how quickly the city recovers and adapts to future challenges. Economic consequences are also significant. Businesses that rely on water-intensive operations face closures or reduced productivity. Markets, bakeries, and restaurants see dwindling customers, while industries dependent on a consistent water supply struggle to maintain operations. The crisis highlights the interdependence of water resources and economic stability, emphasizing the need for sustainable management practices to protect both livelihoods and public welfare. Public awareness and education campaigns have emerged as crucial elements in addressing the crisis. Authorities and NGOs encourage citizens to reduce water consumption, reuse resources, and adopt sustainable habits. While emergency measures provide immediate relief, long-term behavioral changes are necessary to prevent recurrence. Community engagement is proving vital as ordinary people take ownership of conservation efforts and share knowledge on best practices, illustrating the importance of societal participation in environmental stewardship. The psychological impact of the water crisis cannot be overstated. Anxiety, stress, and uncertainty permeate daily life as families confront scarcity. Parents worry about the safety and well-being of their children, while elders face additional challenges in coping with limited resources. The collapse of a basic utility like water taps into deeper fears about stability, governance, and the ability to meet fundamental human needs. Support networks, both formal and informal, provide critical emotional as well as practical assistance during this trying time. The crisis has also sparked debates about technological solutions. Advanced water treatment facilities, smart meters, and real-time monitoring systems are being considered to optimize water use and detect leaks early. Rainwater harvesting, desalination plants, and wastewater recycling are discussed as complementary measures. However, implementation requires significant investment, planning, and public cooperation. Experts stress that technology alone cannot solve the crisis. It must be combined with sound policy, community engagement, and a commitment to long-term sustainability. Environmental activists highlight the broader lessons of Tehran's water collapse. Overexploitation of natural resources, deforestation, and unsustainable urban development have created vulnerabilities that are now impossible to ignore. Climate adaptation strategies, reforestation, and watershed management are all recommended to bolster the city's resilience against future shocks. The crisis serves as a tangible reminder that environmental neglect carries real-world consequences, affecting millions of people in tangible and urgent ways. As Tehran continues to grapple with the shortage, citizens and authorities must balance immediate relief with forward-looking solutions. Every decision carries weight: where to prioritize water delivery, how to implement rationing, and which infrastructure projects to accelerate. The coming months will be critical in determining whether Tehran can restore stability and prevent further deterioration. Success will require coordination among local, national, and international stakeholders, alongside the cooperation and resilience of ordinary residents. The human stories emerging from the crisis are compelling: families improvising to secure water, neighbors helping one another, and volunteers working tirelessly to distribute aid paint a vivid picture of resilience. Meanwhile, journalists document the crisis in real time, bringing global attention to Tehran's plight. The stories resonate beyond the city, serving as cautionary tales and calls to action for other water-stressed regions worldwide. They remind us that while infrastructure and policy are critical, human ingenuity and compassion play a vital role in navigating emergencies. The economic, environmental, political, and social consequences intertwine to create a complex crisis. Tehran's water collapse is not merely a local problem. It is a symbol of broader challenges facing urban centers globally. Population growth, climate change, and mismanagement of resources are creating conditions that can lead to sudden and severe disruptions. By examining Tehran's experience, experts hope to identify strategies that enhance resilience, improve planning, and ensure sustainable access to water for millions of people. Ultimately, Tehran's water crisis underscores the fragility of modern cities in the face of environmental stress. It exposes vulnerabilities in infrastructure, governance, and societal preparedness. Yet, it also highlights the strength of human communities, their ability to adapt, and the power of solidarity in the face of adversity. The path forward requires a multifaceted approach, combining immediate relief, long-term planning, technological innovation, and community engagement. The city's future depends on learning from this disaster, taking decisive action, and building systems capable of withstanding environmental and societal challenges. The lessons from Tehran extend far beyond Iran. They serve as a warning to cities worldwide that neglecting water security can have catastrophic consequences. It is a call to invest in infrastructure, prioritize sustainability, and foster a culture of conservation. By doing so, urban centers can reduce their vulnerability and ensure that essential resources like water remain available for future generations. Tehran's experience illustrates that crises of this nature are not inevitable, but are preventable through foresight, investment, and responsible governance. In the weeks and months ahead, all eyes will remain on Tehran. Recovery efforts, infrastructure repairs, policy reforms, and community initiatives will determine the city's resilience. How Tehran responds will influence global understanding of urban water management, climate adaptation, and disaster preparedness. Citizens, authorities, and international organizations are now bound by a shared responsibility to navigate the immediate crisis while planning for a sustainable, water-secure future. Tehran's water collapse is a vivid reminder that essential resources cannot be taken for granted. It demonstrates the consequences of prolonged mismanagement, environmental degradation, and insufficient planning. Yet, it also showcases human resilience, ingenuity, and solidarity. The coming months will reveal whether Tehran can rebuild its water system, restore public confidence, and prepare for a future in which water security is prioritized. The city's story is both a warning and a lesson, offering insight into the challenges facing urban centers in a world increasingly shaped by climate change and resource scarcity. The crisis has already sparked important conversations. Urban planners, policymakers, environmentalists, and citizens are debating sustainable solutions, including investment in technology, infrastructure modernization, behavioral change campaigns, and environmental restoration. The goal is clear: to prevent a recurrence and to ensure that Tehran and other cities facing similar pressures can thrive in the face of mounting environmental challenges. The human, social, and environmental stakes are high, but the crisis also provides an opportunity for meaningful change and innovation. As the sun sets over a city struggling with a fundamental resource, the people of Tehran continue to adapt, innovate, and survive. Water trucks roll through neighborhoods, families collect scarce supplies, and volunteers work tirelessly to meet the city's needs. In every hardship, there is resilience. In every challenge, there is an opportunity to rethink how cities use and protect their most vital resources. Tehran's water crisis is a story of human vulnerability, environmental stress, and the enduring strength of community. It is a story that resonates far beyond its borders, offering lessons and warnings to the world about the true value of water and the urgent need to secure